KD. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. It means a lot to me. I'm here to motivate and encourage you as always. Today we are going to talk about what to do if you suck at telling people your feelings. I know, but it's really hard for some people, and I've been okay with it. I'll tell people my feelings, but I'll tend to write them down or do voice notes or that kind of thing because people don't like to be inconvenienced with phone calls, which is so stupid to me. But anyway, let's talk on the phone. Hello, let's get to know each other. Even during this pandemic situation, let's get to know each other. Let's talk on the phone like people that like to converse. But maybe people are just insecure about their conversation skills. I don't know. But if you suck at sharing your feelings, don't be too hard on yourself, because it's easier for some people than for others. And depending on how you grew up and your family dynamic and all that stuff, maybe feelings were considered weak, and if that's the case, then it's no wonder that you have a hard time sharing your feelings, because if it was taught to you that feelings were weak and only weak people cry and weak people show feelings and weak people, then of course, you grew up that way, then why would you be a person that easily shares your feelings now? It's hard. But what can you do if you suck at sharing your feelings? All I can say is just try to work on it a little bit at a time. If just like anything else, right? If you suck at something, then the only way to get better at the something that you suck at is to actually actively, proactively work on that thing a little bit at a time until you get better at it. And you might be saying, well, why do I need to share my feelings? Well, hey, you don't have to. But if you want any kind of depth in any of your friendships or relationships or family relationships, if you want anything beyond the surface, then you're going to need to share your feelings, because other people are not mind readers. People don't know how you feel or what you really feel if you don't share that with them. And if you say to yourself, well, they should know that when I do this, then that means that how should they know? How should they know if you didn't actually take the time to explain it to them? They won't. And you say, well, that's just how I am. Okay, that's how you are, but can you improve on that? Because we all have stuff that we need to work on. All of us. So work on your stuff, right? If you have a hard time sharing your feelings, what are some things that you can do to work on it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Now, not that you're going to become an expert overnight, but if you even improve in this incrementally, that's okay. That's amazing. That's wonderful, because you're growing. And I think growth is an amazing thing. So you can definitely do your own research. Like I said, anything that you want to do, improve on, it's going to take effort and it's going to take work. And sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable, but the rewards are freaking amazing. Okay, so you can do your own research. Everything's available to you, especially if you have a smartphone or any internet connection. You have YouTube videos, so many YouTube videos on this subject, including this one. You have Google. You can Google stuff and read it. You have so many online resources available to you. If you're a podcast person, there are podcasts that you can find about how to communicate better. There are books. If you're a book reader, there's Kindle. Find a book, buy a book, read it on your Kindle, buy an actual book, turn the pages, read the book. You can even access ebooks and audiobooks from library apps. Go to a library app, sign up, get a library card, however you have to do it, and get an ebook on it, or an audiobook on it. There's so much available. If you have a friend or a mentor or a life coach or a counselor, you can talk to them about, hey, I want to get better with expressing my feelings because I feel like my relationships are lacking because I don't know how to express myself. Or maybe I'm just afraid of being rejected or called names because of how I grew up or because of my past experiences. But you can't live forward if you're always living backwards. You know what I mean? You can't grow and go higher if you're always leaning back to what you did in the past, or the hurt that happened in the past, or the rejection that happened in the past, or I tried that before and it sucked and I was, they laughed at me. Every person's not going to laugh at you. Unfortunately, maybe the people in the past did. I'm sorry, because it sucks and it feels horrible. But you can't project all the past experiences onto the future, because the future is the future, and you get to meet new people and experience new things, right? And everything is not going to be perfect, but if you don't open yourself up at some point to growth and depth, then you will never have it. So you have to be willing to open yourself up. You have to want to learn. You have to want to improve, and you have to go for it and get those resources, like I said. If you have friends or family members or mentors or teachers or a therapist or counselor who can lead and guide you in that direction, if you know somebody who's a great communicator and you want tips, go talk to them. See how they can help you. Other things you can do is start to journal or write things down, or write things in the notes app on your phone, or record voice notes of yourself on your phone, voice memos. Start to practice expressing your feelings. Write them down. And at first, if you need to write them down just for yourself, just to practice, like, okay, I want to say this to this person. I want them to really know how special they are to me, but I'm scared and I don't know how to do it, and I get nervous and sweaty, I get like anxious and all this stuff. Breathe. Maybe you can write it down. Maybe you can start to write your feelings, short little sentences. And if you're scared, write it down, practice writing it down, practice what you want to say, share it with somebody who you trust, who's not going to make fun of you, and say, hey, what do you think of this? If I said this, then does that sound like good? Does it make sense? Share it in that way. And then practice sharing it with the actual person or people that you want to share with. And do it baby steps at a time. Baby steps is still progress, you know what I'm saying? So you can definitely educate yourself. You can start to practice by journaling, writing it down. You can talk to somebody who's really good at communication, who can kind of coach you through it. And what else can you do? I think just by practicing opening up, and give this disclaimer to the people, like, hey, I'm not really good at this whole feelings thing, okay? I'm sorry, but I do want to let you know, like, I care about you, but sometimes it's hard for me to say it because XYZ. Or if it comes out wrong, I'm sorry, just ask me about it again, and I'll be able to kind of talk to you about it better. Be honest. Be honest with how you feel. I am terrified to tell you this right now, but I wanted to let you know, And even if you don't get the response that you want, you are becoming more adept at sharing what you feel. And as you practice it and do it, you get better and 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 better. You get better at it. So I want you to be encouraged. There are so many resources out there, right? There's so many articles, videos, like I said, books, podcasts, you name it, friends, family, therapists, counselors that can help you to grow in this area. There are even online courses that you can take to help you to know how to communicate and share your feelings better. And then maybe, last thing, maybe it's because you've been hurt so much, right? And you first have to deal with that hurt first before you can start to like go outside of yourself and communicate with others. Then deal with that hurt. Deal with those things. Deal with your stuff. Go see a counselor. Find a good one. If the first one you see doesn't, you're like, I'm not vibing with them, find a better one. Find a life coach. Find a counselor. Find a mentor. Somebody who can coach you through the process, help you to heal from your stuff, and then better be able to address the issues, why you have problems with sharing your feelings with others, so that you can get better at it, so that you can, jump those hurdles and get past those things that have given you problems, so that you can be better at it. None of us are perfect. None of us. Even the people who are like extremely communicative and extremely verbose and like to just tell all the things and do all the things, they're not perfect either. Okay? So just shake off that like self-condemnation. Okay? Remember that it's okay to be where you are, but it's also okay to improve and nurture yourself and heal and go that next level so that you can learn how to communicate with the people that you need to communicate with in your life, and share those feelings so that you can have that growth and depth and new level to your relationships. Okay? That's it. Much love, much peace. Until next time, please subscribe. All right, bye.